Hey everyone, it's time again to recap the latest news from the solar PV industry compiled by the American Solar Energy Society. I'm Jay Warmke with SolarPVTraining.com, and this is what's happening in the wonderful world of solar for the week of August 10th. The Environmental Protection Agency, or the EPA, on Thursday terminated a $7 billion grant program intended to pay for residential solar projects for more than 900,000 lower-income U.S. households. The funding was part of a Biden-era program called Solar for All and was awarded to 60 recipients for redistribution. These recipients included states, regional councils, nonprofit bodies, as well as tribal councils. Now, only 53 million of the original 7 billion has been distributed to grant recipients so far to date. A number of policy insiders contend that the EPA has no legal authority to terminate grants that were already appropriated by Congress, so this issue is no doubt headed to the courts for resolution. President Trump signed a new executive order last week imposing steep countrywide tariffs on the nation of India. The U.S. government will impose an additional 25% tariff on imports from that nation effective August 27th. The tariffs are on top of an existing 25% that had been imposed under an executive order on April 2nd of this year. It's anticipated that this action will have a marked impact on the solar industry. Approximately 88% of all solar panels used within the United States are imported. India has increasingly become an important source of solar panels within the U.S., serving as a less expensive alternative to panels that had been imported originally from China and then had moved that production to Malaysia, Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, and Laos. In May of this year, the International Trade Commission affirmed a ruling by the U.S. Department of Commerce that imposed very steep tariffs on these nations for solar materials imported into the U.S. Tariffs on imported panels from Cambodia range from 650 to 3,500%. Malaysian tariffs range from 14% to 250%. Thai tariffs range from 375% to 972%, and Vietnamese tariffs range from 120 to 813%. D3 Energy has officially launched construction of a 6-megawatt floating solar system for the village of Monroeville, which is set to become the largest floating solar array within the state of Ohio and one of the largest in the nation. Spearheaded by the village of Monroeville and developed in partnership with D3 Energy, the system will feed the village's local distribution grid, providing power to local businesses and residents. Under a long-term power purchase agreement, the village will purchase its power from the project owner. By using the village's existing reservoir, the project preserves over 30 acres of land that might otherwise have been needed for this project under a traditional ground-mounted solar array. In addition to land conservation, photovoltaics, or putting solar on water bodies, offers environmental benefits such as reduced water evaporation within the reservoir, as well as improved water quality. Sodium-ion battery storage startup Peak Energy has announced its first shipment of its storage system that will be used in a shared pilot with 9 utility and independent power producers later this summer. The Colorado-based company touts that its battery system is the first ever fully passive megawatt-hour scale battery storage system, and it's the largest sodium ion phosphate pyrophosphate, or NFPP, battery system in the world, and the first grid-scale sodium ion battery system that has been installed on the U.S. grid. A passive storage system does not require any active cooling processes such as fans, pumps, or any other moving parts that are used to prevent the batteries from overheating. Peak Energy claims that its 3.5 megawatt hour battery storage system, or BESS, eliminates over 85% of the root causes behind historic BESS failures. According to Peak, Their sodium ion systems allow the batteries to operate under a wide range of temperatures without requiring cooling systems, which are typically required to keep lithium ion batteries from overheating. Performance testing by Peak indicate that their sodium ion systems also reduce auxiliary power by up to 90%. Now, auxiliary power would be the power required to run those cooling systems, saving approximately $1 million annually per gigawatt hour compared to a comparable lithium ion battery system. And they will last longer, according to Peak, cutting down battery degradation by 33% over a 20-year period. And that is the news from the solar industry for this week. We'll see you next week.